All right, welcome back. We are 32, and little T-Rex looks like he's 18. And that's I want to try to get little T-Rex caught up with us because before we kind of move on, I don't want to get too much experience and get too far ahead. I don't really want to spend a lot of time using the stems to try to level him, but if we look at it, I think I've got one right here. It does make a huge difference in experience, so we may use them to try to power level him up to us real quick. And so instead of trying to run missions where I get a huge experience boost or anything of that nature, I think what I'm going to do is just go find critters in the world. And I think this is going to be a little T Rex gets leveled video. And hopefully, I'll find things that are going to give me low experience, but then we can use those boosts to try to run little T Rex up to us. I did make some changes. A couple of the videos I've uploaded. Apparently, YouTube is saying that it's got copyrighted music in it, and so there's not going to be any music playing. I'm just going to turn the music off because I don't want to fool with that. Other thing is that a couple of them, the sound effects were so unbelievably loud on that blaster that you probably couldn't even really hear me, and I didn't like the way it sounded. So I went ahead and made a new weapon. I went ahead and went back with the Intimidator pistol. I really like the way it looks anyway because it looks cool with this armor. The DPS looks like it's about 287. I may be a little off on that. My eyes are not the greatest anymore, and those are little bitty writings. But uh, went ahead and threw some stats on there again, just some junk power bits I had that I figured I might as well use. I don't even remember what the stats were on that other weapon, but I know this one's going to be better because that was a lower level weapon anyway. It's not a whole lot better if I remember right. So we're going to go ahead and use the stems. We're going to go ahead and run around and let's get little T-Rex running. I'll pop back in when we get to a spot where I can attack stuff. Going to also get some buffs, get the medic buffs, go ahead and get the entertainer buffs, and then that way we're beefy. We can sit there, we can take the hit, and then we will see what kind of levels we can get on little T-Rex. I'm hoping we can get him into being able to use his skills. All right, real quick, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and grab the daily mission. Let's see. I can get this thing to pop up. I think there's a Beastmaster one. Beastmaster DNA extraction. All right, so this thing says extract 20 samples of creature DNA. So I'm assuming that's this right here, extract DNA, which we use to get the other stuff. It doesn't say it has to be good quality. It doesn't say anything like that. And it doesn't say anything about getting experience, just money. So we're going to take it and see what happens. I'm pretty sure we're going to kill 20 things or more. So, yeah, the heck with it. Let's give it a shot. I am on Naboo. So when you do the legacy quest, you start off on Tatooine. The second part of it, if I remember right, brings you over here to Naboo, where you kill a bunch of these guys. They are 24. Little T-Rex is 18. I am 32. They're green to me, so I should get some experience. So we're going to go ahead and do that. I did go ahead and get the experience buff for my pet, but I did not get the experience buffs for me because I don't want to level me. I'm not going to worry about a supply drop. I'm going to go ahead and hit this. I'm going to hit this as well. And we're going to give it a shot and see what happens. I don't know if these guys chain or link or whatever, but we should be in pretty good shape. So it's not going to be a big deal. All right, so little T-Rex still got about 700 and something. Let's see, something was going on. It did not. Oh, wait, there it goes. All right. Let's see what it does. I got 119. He got little 700 something. Still getting good, decent experience. So let's come over here and pop the stem. Has he already been stemmed? Well, it won't let me do it again if he has. There he goes. Now he's stemmed. Let's see what this gives him. 3,600. All right, let's level little T-Rex up for a while. Make sure I'm looting. Auto loot is on, just too far away. All right, I think this will be a good spot. We'll go through this rapid fire. There's a level. Sweet. I've already gotten 2 levels. Looks like little T-Rex is 20 now. So let's see if I can train him. Still not high enough. I think we got those off 20s. So I wonder how high he has to be before he can learn those skills. Yeah, we're not getting a lot of experience off this, so this is good. Or I'm not. Little T-Rex is. I think that stem lasts like 15 minutes. 3 levels. Can't train him yet. Well, at least that means you can't, like, cheat. Go get a bunch of level 4 or level 5 skills. I think they go up to 5. Okay, I mean, he's just blowing through these land. All right, so let's examine him. If you look at it, it says loyalty progress. So his mood, he's happy, he's trained, he's got provoke. Loyalty progress 0. All right, well, let's kind of put this over and see if I kill somebody, if it'll give us progress. Got me. See what his little happiness meter is. He's happy. So let's feed him again, see if it gets better. Nope. That's as good as he gets. Probably needs to level up before it gets even like ecstatic and stuff. Sucker ran in there like a flash. If you have never played a game like this, you might be uncommon or not used to the respawn rate sometimes. Because every one of these guys we just killed. You're working your way through something. You talk about a dungeon crawl where you're just beating on things like crazy all the way through it. For this kind of stuff, it is great, but man, it can get so annoying sometimes. You're like, I just did all that crap. But we're getting a lot of loot. All this kind of junk loot and all this kind of stuff like that can be used for reverse engineering. So that's a good thing. Where's that sucker going? Let's see if 25 is high enough. Nope. Not yet. $26. Not yet. I bet little T-Rex gonna have to be like 30 before it can use those level 2 skills. Actually, I think I want to just keep trying every time I level to see what the cutoff is. 27, nope. All right, I'm 33. Let's see what our next 34, we get our second heal. These guys are giving 100 something points, but with the double XP, you still get a lot more than that, actually. So it jumps a lot further. Even when you're trying not to get levels, you still get them probably. Okay, this thing says dietary supplement. Beast experience gain has greatly increased. It's got about a minute left, minute and a half. So there's actually two versions of the dietary supplements. There's an A and a B. I think that's what they call it. Maybe a Mark, maybe it's Mark 1. Yeah, Mark 1 and Mark 2, and there's a whole bunch of different versions based on which animal. So, you may have a pet that uses a B, whereas I have a pet, this one's just happens to be using a G, which is what I actually had. If I remember right, I think it's also like a munitions trader that actually makes them. I think my armor smith makes them. Gets some components from a chef, which is the tailor or the domestics trader, and then takes those components and turns them into these dietary supplements. And they run up to like 72 or 75 maybe. And then once they get there, you have to switch over to the Mark IIs. And it's a significant decrease in the amount of experience you get. So you'll rock along, and let's say that I'm getting, 3,600 right now is what we're getting on them. And I think that's probably because I think the events are over, so that's probably just standard. And little T-Rex is rocking and rolling. Well, what'll happen is when it gets up to 75 and I switch over to the other ones, they'll drop like to 800. So instead of 3,600, you're getting 800. So it slows the leveling process down. I mean, significantly, but it's still way faster. And if you use these stims, you can actually grind out a pet in like a day, because they level so fast. Now, if you don't use the stims, they level pretty quick anyway. Okay, so it just ran out because it went to 700, so I'll just pop it again. Looking at him, he's still happy, so he's not hangry yet. He is a 29. This might be a short video. Funny, I'm leveling this thing up so fast, I may not even speed this up. Y'all may be watching this in real time. I got the run buff, so that's why I look like I'm running fast. All right, he's 30. Still too high. Looks like we've got the server reset. They do a reset a couple of times a week, and they just put out an expansion too, or they're putting in, I guess it would be considered an expansion. It's a really cool Jedi I think it's called the Way of the Jedi. And, well, that's interesting. I think little T-Rex experience just dropped a little bit. Let's see. No, 3,600. And that's one of the reasons why I'm thinking I may want to re-roll a Jedi. Be kind of cool to play it up. Maybe do a second playthrough. Got some pretty cool little ideas, or some ideas I think are cool. They're probably nerdy as hell. I wonder why I can learn skills on a level 20, but I can't train it to my pet, who's the same. It's actually a higher level than that. That doesn't make sense. Surely I don't have to learn the level skill one first. T-Rex is 31. 2 more levels, and then I'm going to stop leveling him. You actually can turn the experience off on your pet's leveling, I guess, to keep it from out-leveling you too much. So it is 1 level away from my experience. So I guess what we can do is every time I level, turn its experience back on until I level, and then turn it back off. Or say that right. Turn the experience off until I level, and then turn it back on. I'm tempted to see if it can out-level me. But I feel like that'd be a mistake, because if I set it to out-level me, will it get my experience? I think we're going to keep little T-Rex in my level. We made 2 loops and we've already leveled him. Maybe 3. Perfect timing, too. We're going to get there before they do the server reset. Let's look up here. If I right click on it, it says turn off experience gain. So now let's kill something and see what happens. Nice. All right. Little T-Rex is. Okay. We got little T-Rex power leveled. We are back at the entrance, which is even better. I think we will go ahead and head back. Seems like a pretty good place to stop, just because they're about to do the server restart. So I am going to get us back to our little compound out there at Tatooine, and then we will call it a day there. Be a quick video, but it's kind of the whole point was to try to power level little T-Rex up a little bit to try to get him caught up with us, and then we will pick up back with some more missioning. 33, I might take a look and see what Kashyyyk is. It might be a little bit challenging, but with the two of us, we might be able to do it. I actually got the G9. We're going to grant the ability, but we have not set it yet. Seems like a good place to stop. I'm not going to make y'all watch me drive out there just to try to set the waypoint. Pick this thing back up, and you'll see me at the little Tatooine housing compound. Till next time, we appreciate it.